You're right then, guys and girls, so we are back again today for another video on the Fiesta. Now, just before we get into things, I want to say sorry that I haven't been uploading recently. I do upload a little bit more regularly on my Instagram, keep you up to date with things, pictures and things like that on my Insta. So definitely go check out my Instagram for just regular updates and pictures of the car, that kind of thing. I'll pop the Instagram just down here or something. So yeah, today what we're doing is fitting an extra splitter to the front of the car. It's actually the TRC Ally Aero splitter, which is actually a metal splitter. So obviously I've already got the normal TRC normal splitter, I can't remember what they're actually called. I've also got this splitter which will fit underneath it. I think it just adds quite a bit more kind of aggressiveness to the car, and it was also very difficult to find the TRC Ally Aero splitter. Luckily for me, I found someone selling one of these on Facebook, because on their website looks like they don't do them anymore, unfortunately. But seeing as I've got all the TRC lowline kit, I wanted to kind of stay with TRC. I didn't want to have a TRC splitter with a CM composite splitter underneath it. Some people do that and it does look good, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to stay with TRC, and they are kind of rare now because obviously I don't think they're selling them anymore because they're not on the website. So I was very lucky to find this splitter from someone selling them on the Facebook pages, Fiesta groups or whatever. So I think I'll just show you the new splitter. It's just in the garage behind me at the minute. I'll quickly show you that, and I've also bought the small kind of side fins that you can buy for it. I do really like the kind of side fins and I think they look sick, so I'll show you them as well in a sec. But then after that, I think our best plan, I think the way I'm going to go about it is to remove the TRC splitter that I've got at the moment. I'll have to jack the car up because I'm so fucking low. Pisses me off, but it does look kind of sick, so you know. But yeah, we'll remove the front splitter first of all, and then once that's removed, then we can have a look at bolting them both together or lining them both up together. I'm hoping it's just going to be a job of literally lining up the holes. They should be in the same place because they're both TRC. And then hopefully it's just the bolts sliding through the holes, locating the holes perfectly fine, and then just doing a bolt up on the top. So I'll jack the car up, then we can start to remove the normal TRC splitter first of all. Right, so here is the new splitter. I do apologise if the audio is a bit iffy because it is quite windy today. Here is the new splitter. Obviously you can see kind of what's going to happen. It's just going to sit underneath the original TRC one. Then I've also got here, I think these were an extra like 40 odd quid, but these are metal as well. It is good quality, and I think they are going to be kind of lining up on the edge of there somehow. I think they will also add a kind of good aggressive look to the car as well, which is why I really wanted them. Then there's also the fitting kit there as well. They do actually come with the little splitter rods, I think they're called. But I don't think I'm going to bother with them because one, it's more drilling, and two, I'm not sure if I'm really a fan of them, to be fair, but we'll have a look anyway. So yeah, I think first of all we'll drive onto some bricks, jack the front of the car up and start to remove the nuts and bolts from that. Right then guys, so the car is now jacked up, got a little axle stand under there, got the tools out, and I made a nice little comfy thing to lay on so I won't get a bad back. But yeah, I think we're just going to play around, try and get this splitter off as quickly as possible. Probably still take me quite a while, but you know. Right then guys, so the original TRC splitter is now off. The car is kind of looking bare, like it just looks really fucking weird. But yeah, I don't think there's really an easy or a quick, it's not difficult, it's just a bit tedious, this job, just taking out them, because it's just difficult with access. But what I'm going to do now is line up, grab the other splitter out, line it up underneath here, see if the holes line up, which I hope they do, and then we can go from there. Right, so as you can see, the bolts and the holes do line up, which is brilliant. So it's actually sitting flush as well. Like if these are tightened up, obviously it's going to be flush. There's not going to be any problem with the kind of gap underneath. So now what I'm going to do is just get underneath them, maybe put 2 side bolts in first and maybe a bolt at the front with the help from my missus, and then hopefully we should be good to put the rest in, and then have a look at maybe doing the end plates for the new splitter. Right then guys, so I don't know how much you're going to see, but I've managed to put one of the middle bolts in at the moment. I'm just going to do another middle bolt here in the middle, and then I'm going to work on the side bolts just to make sure they're lined up in the side. So I'm going to quickly get another middle bolt in, get it tightened up a bit, and then we can work on the sides. Right then guys, so it was a little bit difficult kind of lining up the holes with the bolts. They just weren't lining up and it was just being a bit annoying, to be fair. So I didn't film too much of it, but got it bolted in. Now load the car down, and I think it does look pretty sick. I've removed the pinstripe off the original TRC splitter, and I think it does set it off quite well, to be fair. I'm not doing the little end plates or side plates, whatever they're called, today. I'll probably do that on my next day off. I'll pick up this video again in a few days time when I'm ready to drill a couple of holes and then bolt in them little side plate bits, but I'll show you now what it looks like quickly. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Obviously I've now got to be even more careful with bloody speed bumps and stuff like that, going over big bumps, but it's just an extra bit of aggressiveness really from the front, which I think does suit the car. I think it looks really good. But yeah, I'll pick up this video again on my next day off, and we can try and get them end plates sorted. I think I've got to drill like 2 holes just down there, and then nut and bolt them, but that's about it. So I'll pick up the video again then. Right then guys, so it's a few days later. Finally we are finishing the splitter. I've actually decided to do one side of get the end plate bolted on, just so I've got a better idea of fitting it before I actually show you guys. So the passenger side is all on, and I must say it does look pretty sick, to be fair. I thought we was going to run into a few issues, like because you're meant to drill from underneath of the splitter, where the kind of brackets are on the end plates, and I didn't think I'd be able to jack the car up that much because I've only got a low access jack, so it doesn't jack up that high, but managed to do it. Right, so as you can see, car's jacked up. I've got an axle stand underneath there, so it is safe. Just move around here. I've got this old kind of mattress thing, which is a lot better for my back, but here is the first end plate, which is on. So yeah, I did actually email TRC and ask what's the best way of fitting these, because they didn't have a fitting guide. I assumed you just had to find the area where to drill and then just bolt them on, but I just wanted to be certain and show you guys the correct way of doing it. So what they said is jack the car up, get this back bolt in first, and then you can kind of bend this, because I actually asked if these are meant to be bent, because otherwise it was just sticking out here and this bracket wasn't even going on there at all. So I assumed it had to be bent, which it did, but as you can see, the fin now follows the curve of the splitter. I might try and change these for some black kind of anodized bolts or something like that in the future, but at the moment it's fine. So yeah, as I said, I'll show you a bit more in depth on the other side. I just wanted to get this one on first, so I've got a good idea of how to do it and the right ways of doing it. So now we will crack on to the other side. Right, so let's just give you a quick comparison. There's the side without it. Come around here. There's the side with it. I mean, come on, that looks so much better. Way more aggressive. But yeah, now we're up on a brick because, you know, low life. Now I've got to jack the car up. Oh my, what is that? Look at this mad bastard, mate. What a mad geezer, mate. What the fuck is that? Anyway, back to this. Right then guys, so here is the split fin, so you can see the 2 brackets there. What I'm going to do is just line this up in the corner. Make sure it's straight. I'm going to get a pen and mark the hole underneath where it needs to be drilled. Now, using a black permanent marker isn't the best because obviously it's on a black splitter, but you can just make out the marking on there. And then what I've been doing Then just getting a, what are these called? It's like a punch or something. Just to make a small indent in there, just for a pilot hole. Right, so now I'm just going to go in very carefully with a very small drill bit just for a pilot hole, because obviously this is the size that I'm using. I think it's 5.5mm, or yeah, 5.5mm for these little bolts, which are being put through. So I'm just going in with a small pilot hole first. Right then guys, so while the drill battery is on charge, I'm just going to bolt this first on this bracket here. Just going to bolt it into this first hole, and then we can mark up where the second hole needs to be. I've kind of already bent it, if you can kind of roughly see that. I've kind of roughly bent it just where I think it will need to be. So I'm just going to pop this in. It can be a little bit difficult. Right, so that bolt is through there. Just going to stick a washer on it. And then try and get the nut on there. Right, so that nut is just on there and it's threaded on just, so just leave that there and get it tightened up. That's done up. Now we can just have a look at slightly bending this to make the curve follow the splitter perfectly. Then while I hold that in place, I can mark underneath here, and I can just mark through the hole where it needs to be, just like that. And then I can slightly pull that out, and then drill that hole underneath there where it needs to be drilled. We can wait for the drill battery to charge. I'm just going to do this. Then when the drill battery's done, we can go in with the first drill bit and then the second drill bit, and then we should be all good to just chuck a bolt through there and do it up, and that should be the splitter complete. Well then guys, so the drill battery is now charged. Just going to go in with the small 2mm just for a little pilot hole. Just making sure that I'm making sure the drill bit is straight at the moment, just so it drills the hole exactly where I need it to be. Now that little pilot hole's drilled, just making sure it's perfectly where I need it to be, which it is. Now it's a case of changing the drill bit over. Right, now same again with the larger drill piece. That drill piece is very sharp. That went through easy. Just get rid of a few shards of metal. So you can see the position I'm in now. This just needs to slot in there. Bolt needs to go through the hole perfectly. Just need a washer and a nut. Put them on the bottom there. Being careful not to drop it. Now that nut's being tightened. And now again, it's just a case of tightening it up. Ooh. So I'll put the ratchet in the top. Just like that. Wrong way. Make sure it's fully tightened up, which it is. Just bending it away from the bumper very, very slightly. And now that is both of the splitter end or fins all complete. I'll just brighten that up a little bit. There we go, they're all done. So if I just come around here, see that they're both on, and I think they look pretty decent. They are slightly curved in, which I was a bit unsure about, but actually I think I might need to just put this one in slightly more. So you can bend them, they are slightly forgiving, so I can bend it in slightly. That looks better. Yeah, probably be able to tell a lot easier when the car's back down on the ground, make sure they're symmetrical and things, but now I'll just let the car down, get the jack stand out, get it off the bricks, tidy up, and we'll have a look when it's back down on the ground. Yeah, I'm glad that's all done now. Had a bit of a issue trying to line up all the bolts and stuff when we was fitting the splitter a few days ago. Took a little bit of faffing around, but finally we got them all lined up. I don't know what the issue was. It was just maybe putting in the side bolts first instead of the front bolts, or the other way around might have been an issue. But I just needed to line them up. I think it's just where the holes haven't been drilled perfectly where they should have been, maybe. It was just a bit of an issue, so glad that we finally got that sorted the other day. And then today it was just a little job of drilling a few holes and adding in these little end plates, or these fins, these splitter fins. So here they are. They're actually really easy to fit, literally just 2 holes that you drill, and then just a nut and a bolt over the top of them, or through the hole. As you can see down there, that is one of them, and then the other one is just down on that side as well, but I think it does look quite aggressive now. I might just need to tweak them slightly, just bend them a little bit differently to try and make them a little bit more symmetrical, because I think this one might be sticking in a little bit more than the other one. So I am going to end the video here, so thank you all so much for watching. If you do like the video, give it a like, comment what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We are still growing and we are still getting quite a few new subs, so I thank you all for subbing to the channel, and also thank you to everyone who comments all the things, if they like it, what I could do differently to make it easier. It's just all the interaction, really. Just thank you all so much for that. But yeah, check out my Instagram as well for regular uploads and updates and stuff of the car, new pictures, whatever. Chuck that in the corner or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna just film a few cinematics and I'll end this video here.